When I was first created by Dr. Seuss in 1940 for the picture book, Horton Hatches the Egg, there was no such thing as an Oregon Reader's Choice Award. The world was embroiled in a global war to defeat fascism, and the great minds in children's literature of the time felt it was inappropriate to indulge the egos of young readers with such a lofty decision. Years later, in 1954, when Dr. Seuss returned to my character for Horton Hears the Who, the country was just getting over the devastating consequences of the Korean War, and so young readers were once again expected to put their egos on hold so that more mature minds could engage in the wanton destruction of armed conflict. Sadly, youth of the 20th century were thus robbed of the opportunity to vote for either of my two more famous stories, and of course no one had ever heard of Horton and the Kwuggerbug. So that wasn't a winner either. Then, in 2010, despite the country's involvement in both the Iraq War and the war in Afghanistan, adults realized that they could no longer put off a Reader's Choice Award simply because of American military involvement overseas. And so, the Oregon Reader's Choice Award was created. Every year, Oregon students, teachers, and librarians nominate books that were published 2 years prior to the current year. That means that you'll have to check the copyright page of the book you wish to nominate, and compare it to the current year. After the nominations have been made, a small group of librarians and teachers read the nominees and decide on a few books to make it to the finals. After that list is announced, Oregon readers have about a year to read them before voting begins. In order to be eligible to vote, Oregon readers must have read at least 2 of the nominated books. You also have to be a youth between grades 3 and 12. What does that mean? It means that some of you here today don't get to vote. Harry, you're not from Oregon, so you don't get to vote. Kanga, you're not a youth between the grades of 3 to 12, so you don't get to vote. A lot of the rest of you don't get to vote for similar reasons. Sorry, but you'll have to wait until someone comes up with an award of choice for your particular demographic. In any case, I'm proud to be the first to get to tell a group of such distinguished literary characters, who won this year's Oregon Reader's Choice Awards. The winner is The Lion of Mars.